Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We are a nonprofit that uses radio control to get kids excited about math and science, and we are working on setting up our ProLine Pro MT 4x4. Now, you can check out the playlists in the comments for the entire series here, but in today's episode, we're going to start installing stuff. So we're going to take our servo here. It's a Savox SW-0231MG. And we've got our instruction book open here and to the side, and we're going to go ahead and install it. So first things first, we've got to take out the screws in here. And again, the ProLine Pro MT 4x4, for those of you that do not know, is ProLine's 10th scale monster truck all-wheel drive. Whoop, that wasn't screwed in very tightly, so it just went ahead and fell out. So there it is. Alright, and it comes as a pre-built roller, which is nice. It saves you a whole bunch of time because it is already built. You pretty much just need to throw in your electronics. And go. Paint the body, of course, and all that other stuff, but this truck is very beefy. It uses 8th scale, pretty much 8th scale sized components in a 10th scale truck. So I've got some washers under here. I'm going to just go ahead and see. It's here. How do we get this one out? Use a magnetized hex driver. That one's not magnetized. I thought I had magnetized some of these. Nope. I'm just going to go ahead and move this out here. Alright. So, for the servo, we will go ahead and follow the instructions here. So, select the servo horn that matches the spline count on your servo. We have, I believe, a 23 toothed servo. Oh, even before that, I should probably open up this bag here. Comes with a couple tools, which is nice, and all the parts you will need to get this truck running. So I went ahead and skipped the second step, which is installing these battery foams. We'll go ahead and do that later because we run a variety of battery packs here. It comes with some nice tools, 17mm hex driver and a 3mm wrench, that looks like. Put that off to the side. A couple more bags of stuff here. We will also put these to the side because these are the servo horns that we're interested in. Interesting. The truck also came with a plastic tree of parts. So I'm guessing that these are probably the same. Nice to have some extras as well. So maybe we'll hold off on opening this bag because that stuff gets lost, and we'll just grab the one off of this plastic tree. So it's 23 tooth, if I recall. No? Thought this Savoxes were 23 tooth. Huh. 25 tooth? Yeah, 25 tooth. I misremembered. I'm gonna try that again here. Yeah, looks like it's 25 tooth. Alright, so it's easy enough. We will go ahead and just spin this off the plastic tree. You can cut off the flashing if you want, but alright, install the servo. Okay, so first we want to feed the wire under the center diff to reach the receiver. So it is going to go under here. Let's see if there's a path there. And Interesting. So I'm not sure if I do want to feed that wire right under the center diff, unless I'm just looking for a path here for that wire. Because if the wire's hanging out loose here, I don't know if I can catch this on camera, but you know, you can literally feed it right under the diff there, but having that wire near this moving diff, oh, there's a picture here, servo wire. Alright, so they do want you to feed that wire right under, looks like there's enough clearance there, and you might want to use some tape to fix it down, but I'm not going to question their instructions more at this moment. I'll just go ahead and do it and see when we get further along here. So go ahead and feed that servo through, and this is the correct orientation. We will want, I'm just going to put the bottom of this servo mount here. This came out as one piece, so I'm going to unscrew this. So let's see here, this should just pop back in. So you guys are going to see it all in this video, everything that we go through. Oh. It's kind of weird when this servo mount came from the factory, and I unscrewed it and it just kind of fell down. So hopefully I can work this back in here. I might have to flip the truck upside down, or at least sideways, to get this to stay without falling due to gravity. Here we go. So this will just fall down if I don't hold it in place. And that's kind of hard to do when you're trying to screw this in. So I might use a little trick here. And part of working with your hands here is that you get to think a little bit when faced with the challenge. I'm going to use some masking tape to hold that servo mount here. Let's see if it's got a direction to it. Doesn't look like it. So this should be enough to just tack that in place. Perfect. And allow me to get the servo in place. So if you guys run into that problem, just use a little bit of masking tape doubled over. And let's see here, just trying to ease the servo in. I hope the servo isn't too big. It shouldn't be. Standard size servo. Alright, it does come with a metal servo mount, which is nice. On our Arma, we always, I shouldn't say always, but we ran into some issues with the servo mount flexing there, the plastic one that came on the Creighton. It looks like the wire here is butting up against the mount, and I'm just going to try to finesse this in. This is odd. You could always take out. Am I supposed to take out the whole servo mount? I don't think so. But I might just have to do that because I don't think I can feed this wire in. So I'm just going to do that. Remove the servo mount, the metal servo mount itself. Let me get this back on our work mat here. Alright, so the entire servo mount is out now. Just keep the screws in place so I don't lose them. So now we've got the servo mount. Probably center this more here, but my camera stand is in the way. Alright, so now we can see, there we go. Yeah, it is pretty tight in there, so you will probably want to take out this entire, I think you probably need to with any servo, and then you wouldn't have to hold the side mount in place there. Okay, so then we can put this little plastic piece underneath. I'm just going to line up the servo holes, even though most servos are standard, they can differ a little bit. So, they're not all manufactured to the same tolerances. So now I'm going to grab those screws we had from before. It looks like they're all identical there, so I'm just going to grab these and bring them over to this side of the truck. So the servo mount, install a screw with a washer. Oh. And just get this screwdriver here. Hex driver rather. One started, and then I can switch over to the power driver and get that washer on there first. So, I should probably do a little bit more homework on the forums before I continue the installation, just to learn from the mistakes of others there, but I was just so excited to get going on this truck that didn't take the time to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the power driver now and get these a little bit further along, but don't want to tighten them all the way just because we'll want some play in there before we do the final, or to get those other two screws in. Oh, it doesn't look like that screw is going in straight here. That is not good. Let me back this back out. Definitely want to make sure that the screw's going in straight. That's why I started it with a hand driver. So let me just check this again here. Make sure that it's going in straight. And I might just continue this by hand since it's not that much. And also on the other side here, again, just making sure to thread the screw in straight. It's nice to get going on this. Alright, perfect. So I'm not going to fully snug those down. I might even loosen this up a little bit. Okay, so we can now pop in the servo. And just making sure to line everything up. So we'll get these other two screws in. That's the wrong driver there. I should get the screws, not on the washers there. I should get those in through these mounting holes first. Yeah, see, they're not even lining up there. Oh wait, is this even metal? I think this is plastic too, actually. Oh, no, it is metal. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm going to loosen up these screws here a little bit more. Just because I'm going to have to wiggle it a little more. There we go, to get these holes to line up. Alright, just start these screws through these holes before I put the servo back in there, just to make sure everything lines up properly. Alright, so I'm just going to pull that servo wire through. And I'm going to get these screws started here. Making sure not to cross thread anything. There we go, everything's going in nicely. And got these other 4 screws, so I'm just going to cinch everything down by hand. I'm not going to use the power driver. Oh. Huh. Wondering if this servo's too big. I'll show you guys what I'm running into here is that servo mount. Look at that gap. That gap here. And it's because the bottom of the servo is actually bottoming out. I think against the chassis there. Well, these servos are supposed to be standard sizes here, but maybe this one is just a tad too big. I'm just going to try this one more time here before we call it quits. Yeah, it's definitely bottoming out there against the curve of the chassis. So don't use the Savox SW-0231MG because it won't work in here. We're going to have to find a smaller servo. So thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time.